For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Come on! Wait up!
Is everyone ready to play?
I think the people involved, you get to meet a lot of people in football, and that's just one of the great things. Not only is the sport great, but the people involved. So fellow referees, players, coaches, even fans. I love officiating because it keeps me involved in football. I was a player, but I don't reckon I could cut it out there anymore, at least at any decent level. But as a referee, I get to be involved in high levels of football. Keeps me involved, keeps me fit, and is great fun. I think I have a moment of this is why I do this every week. It's always good fun to get out there, and there are tough moments, but being resilient and succeeding, even just in the little things throughout a match. I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn, and as a referee you'll surely come across a lot of them, and I certainly have. I reckon give it a go. You will face challenges, but that's a part of it, and I think embracing challenges is such an important skill to learn.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide, Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Welcome all to the HPG Homes State League 1 clash between your home side, Adelaide Olympic, facing up against the league leaders, Adelaide Croatia. We're here at the L3 Football Stadium. Joined with me in the commentary booth tonight is Ryan Veach. How are you, Ryan, and what are you expecting of tonight?
I'm very good, thanks. Thanks for having me. What a game, hey? Everything's happening here at the moment. We've got the Ultras going off. We've got a bit of smoke happening, so it's really setting the scene for what hopefully should be an absolute cracker.
Of course, this is the round 22 clash. All games in State League 1 coinciding at the same time tonight. And this is 1v2, 42 points versus 43. The winner will be automatically promoted, and the loser will have to go through the final series to get their fate in the remaining State League 1 games. Minutes away from kickoff here. We'll go through the lineups of both sides, starting with your away side, the Adelaide Croatia Raiders, making a couple of changes coming into tonight's clash due to some being rested last weekend. Starting with their lineup. Number 6, Christopher Vivian. Number 9, Isaac Matakoulis. Number 10, Kalen Laird. Number 14, the captain, Oliver Zafaridis. Number 15, Christian D'Angelo. Number 20, Joshua Seganek. Number 23, Jai King Byrne. Number 26, Yuto Ikeda. Number 29, Jack Osterstock. Number 34, Tumbika Kalua. And number 95, Salafu Jatta. The home side, Adelaide Olympic, unchanged from last week on the bench and in the starting lineup. We'll go through their starting lineup now with their goalkeeper, number 1, Lewis Cleland. The captain, Rasko Lujic. Number 5, Daniel Kikianis. Number 6, Marco Grelli. Number 7, Ethan Nassau. Number 8, Alia Kill. Number 9, Harry Salinas. Number 10, Ricardo da Silva. Number 14, Jordan Pudler. Number 15, Peter Katsambis. And number 23, Perry Mitras. So, Ryan, both coming off of solid wins last weekend out. Of course, Adelaide Olympic winning 2-0 against Cumberland, while for Adelaide Croatia Raiders, a 4-2 home victory over the Cove. Of course, it came with a bit of drama. Of course, a red card. Missing tonight's game is Oliver Chikwuba, as well as a couple of players coming back in. But what are you expecting for this clash? Of course, the second time both teams are meeting this season.
Yeah, well, when you look across, obviously both teams, there's a good mix of experience and quality, some good young players running around as well. So, you know, they're obviously at the top of the table for a reason. I think, it could come down to maybe a bit of individual brilliance from your likes of your Ricky Da Silva to maybe get Olympic over the line, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what they're going to need.
Of course, this is the second time both teams met this season. Previously, in earlier rounds, it was a 3-1 win to Adelaide Croatia Raiders at their home ground. So, looking to do the double over Adelaide Olympic tonight and secure their league title victory and promotion back into the NPLSA for 2027. Of course, they were the relegated team from 2025 NPL last season, while for Adelaide Olympic, they were relegated in 2024 from the REA NPLSA. So, a couple of years out for them, while for Raiders, just one. And we're almost ready for kickoff here. Of course, referee in the middle of the park there, Christian Verdicchio, in charge of such a big clash as well. And it'll be Salafu Jatta who will take the first touch of tonight's game.
Yeah, there's a good crowd building here as well. It's really set the scene. Beautiful conditions. Wind's picked up a little bit in the last sort of half an hour, but yeah, look, it's going to be a ripper.
And we're underway here. Back with the centre-back of Adelaide Croatia Raiders, of course, joining mid-season after off-season move from Metro Stars, Christian D'Angelo. He's in the back of that defence with the new inclusion for this week, Chris Vivian, coming back from an injury for a couple of weeks. And it looks like Yuto Ikeda has gone into the midfield while Kurikomana misses out after last week. Bit of a battle on the near side with young Zaganek and Vivian.
Yeah, really experienced back three there for Raiders, and Vivian and D'Angelo and Zaf on the left. So
they've got a dangerous attack to deal with as well. As we see Da Silva on the left with the first foray forward. Good ball into the box, a kill. Misses with the header, now it's out with Katsambas. Salinas takes it past Matakoulis, puts the ball in. Looking for Nassau, but there in the way was Christian D'Angelo. It'll be an early corner here for the home side in front of what you would have to say is their home support there. You can see the flags in the background. We saw a blue flare just earlier as well, but a lot of good home support here for Adelaide Olympic, and it's showing out so far.
got some tall timber to deal with there at the back for Raiders. But let's see how they mix this one up.
Big Katsambas on the far side to take this. Left-footed in swinger. Looking on top of the keeper. Kalua gets a touch, and now Zaganek can clear. Laird back to Zaganek. Looking forward. Also a counter-attack there. Looking for Adelaide Croatia Raiders. On the end of that one was Caelan Laird, who's in a more familiar attacking role this week, while behind him, Jai King Byrne has come back into the lineup, a man with some championship experience. But so far he hasn't done so in the second tier of this state. What is the difference it's got to take to get a promotion or a championship in some of the lower leagues in this league, Ryan, that is a bit different from the top flight?
Well, I mean, it's not always going to be about quality. You know, it's going to be about really digging in deep and getting the rest of your teammates around you. And it could take, you know, like I said earlier, those individual moments of brilliance from someone after everyone's worked their ass off for 90, 100 minutes.
He's one of those men with individual brilliance oozing throughout this season. Ali Akil made the end-of-season transfer from Garn United in the State League 2 and taken to State League 1 like a duck to water. He's got 12 goals in the league so far this season. He's also chasing a golden boot, Ryan. He's equal with Luke Fusco of Fulham United Soccer Club as well. So he'll want to get a goal as well as a win here to push his team into the NPL. But another player who stepped up from a lower league to be so influential in a top division here in State League 1. It's tough to do for a youngster, but when you have the compatriot of Ricky De Silva next to you, he sometimes makes things a bit easier.
Just got a bit of a pause here.
Bit of a break here. Christian Verdicchio instructing the away team about their ground stewards changing throughout the game and not the ones that were written on the list. Bit of a delay here as they sort out some of the ground stewards behind the goals. A couple of them maybe in with the active support of Adelaide Croatia Raiders and with some horns and need to be secured before the game starts. I think they've got the instruction now. Still waiting to restart here. So a bit of a delay here in the 5th minute of this clash so far. And surprisingly, it's the away team's ground supporters who are causing interruption.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one.
Finally, we'll see them swapped back to who was listed on the team sheet at the start of the day. Interesting one, though. Of course, referees, they can see everything, it seems. And, of course, Verdicchio even picking out the ground stewards changing. So you don't see that every day.
I think they just tried to stop a bit of Olympics momentum earlier on, to be honest with you.
Could be a tactic, you never know. But, of course, takes a bit of the pressure off Adelaide Croatia at the moment as they start with this back at their goalkeeper and can subside some of that early pressure in this game.
Yeah, early stages, but I think Olympic has started to sort of knock the ball around quite well, even though it's early days.
Finally back underway, a goal kick to Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Of course, sporting their familiar 3 at the back formation this week. Been told it was slightly adjusted from a 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2, with the 2 strikers up front there being Salafu Jatta as well as Isaac Matakoulis. But the big man who hails from Gambia, Salafu Jatta, who's played professionally, of course, in the USA as well as the Philippines, is back in the lineup today after regaining full fitness and coming back from a mid-season holiday as well. So he's their top scorer this season with 11 league goals, and he's in this clash ready to make the difference. Ikeda playing it into the path of Matakoulis, and Lujic asking for the foul, nothing given. One of the
pressure there.
One of the only remaining players from the last time Olympic were in the NPL, Rasko Lujic, made his NPL debut actually for Adelaide United youth team and then Adelaide Comets. Also played for FK Beograd before coming to Adelaide Olympic in 2021. And he's got the captain's armband this season as well, and he's repaid his faith in his manager, and he's got his team on the cusp of success again in the State League One. Here's De Silva, a man who knows all about that success in State League One, and has had multiple promotions on his glittering CV, but one with Adelaide Olympic is one he's remaining to complete. 43 years young. He's looking for another one. Here's a kill.
He doesn't look like slowing down either, does he? A few rash challenges flying in there. Just need to settle a little bit, Raiders. Just start knocking the ball around.
Of course, this game as well for Adelaide Croatia Raiders. They don't need to force a win here. A draw for them would secure their league title status and auto promotion. While for Adelaide Olympic, nothing short of a victory here would get them anywhere near that. Here's Matakoulis. Kingburn. Zganek. 1v1 with Mitris. The youngster gets past him, but can't put a cross in. Matakoulis in the box looks to deliver. And will have to result in a throw-in instead. But as we said, both teams have the experience. Adelaide Olympic have that in Perry Mitris, one of the all-time leading games makers in the RA, NPLSA and Football SA itself. 18th on that list with over 400 games. Of course, in his career has experienced promotions, titles and everything, but to my knowledge, I believe he hasn't been promoted from State League One before. We see another foul off the ball here on Lujic.
I thought it was a foul, but I don't think he gave it.
Maybe he played advantage there as the keeper caught it, but in any case, it's Olympic and Clearland to Lujic to start Adelaide Olympic's move. Looking again down that wing for Akil. Osterstock. Kikianis under the pressure of Jatta. Just about holds out for a throw-in instead of a corner. Well, actually, looks like it went the other way of the flag, so it will be a corner for Adelaide Croatia.
He's quite intimidating when he's closing you down, isn't he?
It is in Adelaide Croatia. Their fans are in that corner, so they want to score while they're at this end at the moment. Still early in the clash here, just past the 9th minute. The game will feel longer and longer as the pressure mounts, but Zafaridis will take the first corner of the day for Adelaide Croatia. Looks at the far post for D'Angelo. Ikeda. Osterstock lets it bounce. Takes the flick. Jatta's in behind. Can't get a shot away and then takes one on the keeper again. No foul, says Verdicchio, but the goalkeeper made himself massive there.
Yeah, he's done well there.
Coming into blows almost with the striker of Adelaide Croatia. It's an imposing figure to come up against as a keeper.
And it's quick off the line there, so he's done well. Start commanding that box early.
Clearland again looking in the channel, this time for Katsambas. Vivian contests, no foul, but another man who knows success, Chris Vivian as well, was part of Croydon FC last year. He won the championship, but didn't feature as much as he would have liked. Did play in that final, however, and after transferring midway through this season, come to Adelaide Croatia to get some more game time and find his strength in the State League One. Akil does well against Zafaridis. Osterstock strips him of the ball on the far side, and now Croatia will try and win. Here's Pudler. First time we've seen him on the ball today already, remonstrating with Verdicchio, but Mitris goes from range. Good early sider there, but a couple of the stalwarts of this league, Mitris and Pudler, combining for an early chance for Adelaide Olympic.
Yeah, space opened up for him, so yeah, well in his right to go and attack it. Disappointed with the shot, no doubt, but start to put this keeper under pressure early.
Of course, probably an attacker at heart, Perry Mitris. Over his latter career, he's turned into more of a fullback. No goals this season so far, so if there was ever a game to open your account, it would be this one. Well, for the player who passed him the ball, Pudler, as he wins that header, has had one of his career best with 9 goals in all competitions this season. Good win there. Jatta, time to turn and find Zaganek. Puts an early cross in. Lujic. Mitras clears under the pressure. Ikeda. And finally Katsambas will clear. Akil doing well to shield the ball. Brings it down nicely. Asking for the foul. Wasn't given. Grelly's touch. King Byrne.
Yeah, probably Jai needs to probably get into the game a little bit more, I think.
Zaganek looks far post. A header from Laird. Not troubling the goalkeeper. Asking for something here. I'm not sure what. Maybe a pull. Clearland. Central.
It's a bit transitional at the moment, so probably someone needs to get on the ball and just start dictating it a little bit.
He's into Laird now with a left-footed strike.
Oh, wow!
Almost found a spectacular goal to open this, but that was Laird and Matakoulis linking up on the left-hand side. As you said, it's becoming a bit transitional, but some of these long balls are finding gaps in behind the fullbacks, which are there to be exploited. Adelaide, Croatia, they're the better of the two doing so far. There's that long switch. He's kept in by Katsambas, but not to a blue shirt. Vivian will do the same. Lujic. Another clearance. Just coming into our box here. But as you said, neither team trying to take any danger in clearing this ball and just putting it back into those channels to contest.
Yeah, could be a few nervous bodies out there, I reckon. Again, you need the likes of Puddler and Jai to just get on the ball and start shifting it side to side. Trying to get some bounce passes and just really try get both teams into the game and just settle them a little bit.
Again, Cleland looking long for the diagonal of a kill. Hasn't found his range so far, Cleland. A lot of those balls ending up centrally where De Silva is not contesting. That ball stayed in on the far side and get one at his feet now, Cleland. Mitras. Kikianis and Grelly found some success last year. Marco Grelly with West Adelaide. Winning the final there as Mitras floats a ball in. King Byrne only back into the path of Grelly.
Ricky's trying to drop a little bit deeper now, get on the ball, make some stuff happen. Probably a bit frustrated up there.
Can see the instruction there from the stalwart De Silva, asking his teammates to try and play a bit more on the ground. He hasn't had much of a touch so far, Ricardo.
He's the kind of player you want on the ball as well. Ultras in full voice.
Vivian finds the feet of Matakoulis under the strong pressure of Grelly. Jatta holds up well, turns into the box, time to deliver low.
He's done well there.
Into the feet, Matakoulis' touch is heavy and took him the wrong way instead of to goal towards the defender, but a great turn and chance there created by the target man there in Jatta, showing his assist smarts rather than his goal-scoring threat at that stage. It's good to see from a big, tall striker. De Silva wins the flick on. Only into the path of the Adelaide Croatia backline. Ikeda. Good pass in behind. King Byrne. Great touch into the path for Laird, but he wasn't on the same wavelength. Now Olympic will build up again. Cleland seems to have only one option in mind, looking for that channel. And go for it again, but again finds it way too central and into the path of D'Angelo. As you see another clearance. Over the sideline.
Just going to keep going back and forth.
Kikianis on the ball. Puddler saw the pressure, allowed it to come forward and clear the ball. They'll take some of these yards gained and try and play some football leading up to it. Katsambas, good turn to Nassau. Another one with experience of promotion in grand finals. Ethan Nassau lost the grand final for promotion with Western Strikers in 2022, but last year finally got his championship with West Adelaide in 2025. Of course, went across the divide to Adelaide Olympic this year to play a bit more football himself. And he's done so far this season. Playing 21 games in all competitions and starting 17 of them. So he's been much more involved than he ever has in a senior competition this year in Nassau. And he finds his place in the 10, working with Ricardo da Silva. Salinas.
This is all Olympic need to do is just, start shifting the ball a little bit, start moving Raiders around, look for those little gaps, which Ricky will probably float into, open up a bit of space for someone else. They just got to realise if Ricky does drop deep that someone's got to replace him up top.
Now going long Cleveland. Nobody really contesting D'Angelo there with a free header. And now Jatta comes alive, and delayed reaction from the assistant referee to pull up the flag, but came from an offside position there, Jatta.
The Olympic are going to work out. They can't just keep going long. D'Angelo's just going to clean that up every day. They have had a couple of good passages on the transition now for Raiders.
Here's Ganek under the pressure. Katsambas will be a foul. One of the first of the day, so even the questions will be asked of the booking, but I think Verdicchio, knowing the extraordinary nature of this game, won't tarnish it with an early yellow for a tactical foul in the middle of the park.
Yeah, probably a smart one there. They were on the break. Probably still trying to get some numbers forward, but smart foul in the end.
So it'll be a set-piece opportunity for Adelaide Croatia this time again. Can send up their tall timber. D'Angelo's joining that pack at the far side. Looks like it will be Zafaridis and Zaganek over the top. I assume it'll be the captain's Zafaridis to take and hopefully float it into that far post area where a cutback might be on. Here's that delivery. Zafaridis central, bouncing in front of Cleveland there. Any contact would have been dangerous for Adelaide Croatia, but they couldn't get one. Now again, Olympic will take their time building out from the back.
Definitely an advantage for Raiders there, which really they should be doing more of, taking advantage of it. Still feels a bit rushed from Raiders. I don't think they've quite settled into the game as yet. I think Olympic obviously having a bit more possession, but
there's the pressure. And it's come for Laird to find Matakoulis, who finally finds his feet. And Zaganek will have a chance on the right to float a delivery in far post. Jatta there with a very blatant push in the back on young Salinas at the far post. But that was the press from Adelaide Croatia. They were patient in getting ready to pounce. And they finally did on Grelly there. But the first time ball for Laird into Matakoulis had a bit of a bounce to it. And didn't find his feet until the second time of asking. Jatta there got a bit of a conversation there by Verdicchio, letting him know he's not oblivious to the obvious fouls that the striker might do with his size and dominance in the air as well. So restart with a Cleveland goal kick.
But again, it's all well and good having all the possession, but it could take a moment like that, a little bit of a mistake, and then they could be punished.
Da Silva loses out, but Katsambas wins back. Grelly does the same for Adelaide Olympic, but finally coming deeper and receiving some of the ball. is De Silva. Picked his pocket that time though. Matakoulis 1v1 with Rasko Lujic. Takes it one side, has the strike. Had the accuracy, but maybe not the power to beat Cleland from that angle. But another good counter press there from Adelaide Croatia. So you can definitely tell the way they're trying to set up in this game is to wait for a mistake from Adelaide Olympic or press them when they're overplaying the ball and then have a counter attack themselves.
Yeah, definitely a lot of voice coming from the Raiders bench as well to really urge that press and put Olympic under pressure. So it can be intimidating at times.
Lujic, good pass in between the gap to Pudler. Salinas on the far side, another one who's come over mid-season. He started the season actually this year with Adelaide Olympic, but came across from Adelaide Cobras mid-year last year, moving to Adelaide Olympic, and he's found his role in the senior setup here at right fullback, known as a bit of a midfielder and a bit of an attacker sometimes too. Played a couple of games in the reserves this year. Harry Salinas scored 3 and 3, and since then hasn't been back in that team and has found a consistent role here in the first team at Adelaide Olympic. Katsambis, De Silva, Nassau under the pressure, and Pudler with a big clearance, and it will be an Adelaide Olympic ball right in the corner for a throw-in. Bit of a back and forth there with the Adelaide Croatia coach Phil Scardinio and the assistant referee in front of us asking for a foul late after the ball was played.
Nope. Not a great pass from the assistant.
Of course, talking about experience for both teams as well. In terms of coaching and coaches, it's a bit of a difference. Scardinio, 140 games as a coach, while Rosales is his first season as a senior coach, 23 games. So what experience do you think a coach makes in a big game like this, Ryan?
Oh, probably game management. For one, trying to give those instructions to the players on the pitch if there's not much communication on the pitch from the players, you know. It's where you really need that experience from the likes of Sardinio to slow the game down if it needs to. I think that was a tactical ploy at the start of the game to switch the stewards just to stop a bit of Olympic momentum. So who knows, that could have been him, I think. But look, Nick has done a great job in his first year as well. He's worked under some really good coaches in the last 5 or so years. So yeah.
It's good to see ex-players going into the coaching roles as well, and you can see how their experience can pay off. Here's Zaganek on the right. Space to 1v1 against Perry Mitras. Sliding challenge coming in there from Ikeda. And Zaganek will keep it alive and it'll be a goal kick instead of a throw-in, but you can tell every bit of pressure and every bit of passion as well from the Adelaide Croatia bench as they win the ball back and put in some strong challenges. They know they're here to come away with a league title. They're not just here to sit back and accept a draw.
Yeah, it's really, really driving them at the moment, the Raiders bench. It really is. You know, some of those 50-50 challenges they're coming out on top of.
Kalua has to clear first time. Mitras puts it into an area where Nassau can get to it. Pudler wins with a good toe. Kikianis under the pressure of Osterstock. Salafru Jatta's now in behind and he puts it in the net, but a very delayed call there from Kushan Verdicchio. It looked like it was after Jatta was almost in on goal, almost had the shot, but he's pulled it back. And there'll be a foul in the defensive half for Adelaide Olympic, but a massive call there and a big game there, Ryan.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I mean, I couldn't see it from where I was sat. Obviously, Christian did. There wasn't too many complaints.
Mitras looking long. Again, neither Adelaide Olympic player can compete. Yeah, just about halfway through this first half as well now. You have to say both teams have provided their own game style into this, and at the moment you probably say the better chances have come for Adelaide Croatia Raiders, while for Adelaide Olympic, for all their pressure, haven't really created anything in the back lines. I don't even know if Kalua has even had the ball at his feet yet.
Yeah, again, we talk about, possession in games, and that's all well and good, but goals win games, and yeah, they just haven't been as threatening up top at this stage, Olympic. And obviously Ricky's dropped in deep a couple of times to try and get himself involved. Then when they look to go forward, there's no one really up there.
It is an interesting game style. I mean, from their backline and goalkeeper, they look like they're going long and into channels, but you look at the height of their team, Adelaide Olympic, they don't have a lot to compete with the Adelaide Croatia Raiders players. So for the attackers, they're probably hoping that their backline can maybe play it to their feet and get them involved a bit more, because otherwise they're getting outnumbered and out-heighted as well. As we see De Silva try and play in behind a kill, but Zafridis does well with a bouncing ball to clear.
Yeah, they're probably going to try, Cleveland really needs to try and look to break those lines and break the press. And they may have a bit more success in the midfield than going forward. You can't keep resulting on going long each time. I think that's not going to really work. As you can see, Ricky just having a few touches. But again, no one really replaces him up top, so it's probably something they need to try and, unless that is their game plan, I'm not sure, but they probably need to try and fix that. But they have been keeping the ball relatively well,
They have, and now they're in the centre of the park doing a bit better, and even in the attack, so they're doing so as well. Kikiana stabs forward, and Osterstock will now control. Of course, Osterstock made his senior debut with Adelaide Olympic in 2023. Only played one game that season and one in 2024 before making a mid-season transfer to Adelaide, Croatia, where he's played a lot more games this season and featured in 22 starting 18. So another one making the move between the two clubs that has found some success in the senior level at Adelaide, Croatia. But be Salinas on the far side to take this throw. Ball almost finds its way to Katsambis. No handball, referee has called. Zaganet will continue the chase as Lujic can only clear high in the middle of the park. Mitras with an audacious touch. I'm not sure he meant it, but he put his team in a great path forward. But again, Katsambis and the Olympic forwards can't keep it and create a meaningful chance. D'Angelo looks long. Left there by Laird. Matsakoulis plays him in behind. Zaganek continuing his run down the right. Puts a low cross in. Well defended there by Lujic. And Pudler will look down the line, asking for a foul late. Verdicchio says nothing doing. And you like to see that from a referee. There's some of those little fouls that try and slow things up. And in a big game like this, he's letting a lot go and making sure it's a game played on the park and less on the floor.
Yeah, I think Pudler went looking for that one as well.
Inadvertent header there into the path of a kill. Not a lot of options forward, and get it in a 1v1.
This boy on the ball a bit more as well. He's been scoring goals for fun of late, so they're the players you want, sort of.
Big challenge in the middle of the park by Pudler.
Yeah, yep.
We saw a warning earlier to an Olympic player. None on that occasion as Jordan Pudler picks up his 7th yellow card for the season. Of course, he must have already served his suspension earlier this season, so he's happy to get that one and sends a bit of a message down to the Croatia bench here as well. But as you said, a kill chasing that golden boot. He's equal with it at the moment, but him and Luke Fusco, the last 3 or 4 weeks, haven't scored a goal either of them. So if either of them want to claim that, they're going to have to do so in this last game of the season. Of course, games going on around the place. Looking at some of those results as well, Fulham United had taken a 2-0 lead over the Cove away at the Cove's ground, while Adelaide Blue Eagles 1-0 over Eastern United. Elsewhere, Cobras and Salisbury have also started without goals, and South Adelaide Athletic have also started 0-0 there too.
He's done well there.
Both those Fulham goals, not Luke Fusco either. Jake Dorsey and Grant Habonimana. So the race is still on here for Akil to grab that golden boot. Well, for the standings as it stands, that means that Cumberland and Blue Eagles will find themselves in the top 6, while Adelaide Atletico are the ones out at the moment. So with about 15 minutes to go till half time, neither keeper's really been tested. I mean, there's been a shot on target for Adelaide, Croatia against Lewis Cleland, but it didn't cause him too much havoc. And for Tambika Kalua, hasn't had one at his hands just yet.
No, well, you look at the shot that Perry had earlier, you know, that was from probably 25, 30 yards out. Kill was probably the other one, a real half chance. Again, same sort of distance. He's been switched to this side now.
Good ball in behind for Matakoulis. But good pressure from Mitras as well. But Fado Olympic, if they have a half-time team talk coming in about 15 minutes, they've got to be more adventurous going forward. They have to get something out of this game. They can't rest on a 0-0 or a draw. So they have to get some attackers on as well, if the ones at the moment aren't doing.
It's pretty much a 100-minute game, so you don't have to score in the first minute. And again, they've worked themselves into the game quite nicely. It's just the sort of final third they're really kind of struggling a little bit with at the moment. And that might mean just tweaking a couple of things. Akil obviously is switch sides just to maybe try and get him involved a little bit more. Maybe be a bit more one-on-one with probably Vivian.
Here's Mitras looking to do so early. King Burns there away, but of course with Akil and Katsamba swapping wings, that means both of them will likely cut it in on their favoured foot and potentially open things up a bit more rather than be as predictable on their foot to cross a ball. Here's Jatta under the pressure of Kikianis, does well. Almost came away there for Adelaide Olympic, but they can't keep the seconds. Osterstock does well. Driving forward, looking for Matakoulis, but off his line early there was Cleland. Alert to the danger. So we'll see what these moves have made elsewhere on the park for both teams. It looks like the rest has stayed the same. Mitras now looking for a kill. Uses his body to keep it away from Zaganek.
Yeah, I think this is what they wanted.
Onto his left for a low delivery. Almost at the feet of Katsambas, but
I think Zaf did a pretty good job on him on the other side. They probably realised that, yeah, let's switch him and see if he has a bit more success on this side. Which, if that's anything to go by, you know, that could work for them. Oh,
pick off there by Matakoulis against Lujic. Saved once by the keeper and second time into his hands, but indecision at the back there from the captain of Adelaide Olympic. Just the ball caught under his feet. And the striker, Matakoulis, with a gilt-edged chance to open the scoring there, only finds the feet of young Cleland.
No, we saw that earlier with Putler as well. So they're living a bit dangerously back there at the moment.
So for all their possession and maybe a bit of complacency leading out the back there for Adelaide Olympic between those two centre-backs, have had so much possession between the two of them and not a lot of pressure, but when it finally does come, both of them at the moment have given up the ball. Here's Kikianis. It's a better pass in behind to Katsambas. Himself looking for a pass in behind. No foul, says Verdicchio. See on that far side, even in the club rooms, it looks full over there. Great turnout here in State League 1, of course. All State League 1 games played at the same time, so no other competing fixtures. But it's great to see so many coming out to support local football in the second tier here in SA. You don't often see such big crowds, but it's good to see for this one.
Two big clubs as well, and this is the kind of support you want to see at local games. You can hear the Raiders bench again just urging players to get forward and put the Olympic under pressure. Obviously it's almost paid off twice. A couple of mistakes at the back there. something they can really take advantage of, is that sort of voice from the bench.
Jatta into Laird to put across in. It'll be a corner on the far side. 10 minutes to play in this first half, and probably the second corner of the day for Adelaide, Croatia. First one didn't have the desired impact, but this time the pressure mounting on Adelaide Olympic. This could be decisive.
I'm surprised they don't have Jai on whipping it in with his right foot on this side. Put the keeper under a bit of pressure, especially when you've got Jatta in there. It's a big boy.
Zafaridis' delivery. Looking to the far post. D'Angelo wins a header. Bouncing and in the hands of a thankful Clearland, as no touch came from the second time of asking of Adelaide Croatia Raiders. But speaking on Jai King-Byrne, he's just come back from a hamstring injury, so he was out for a game or two and had a bit of soreness last week and didn't push it. So potentially that's the reason why he's not on set pieces as he usually is. But if there's a shooting one, I'm sure he'll put his hand up first. Puddler rotating into the right fullback position at this stage, with Salinas pushing forward. Grelly finds that player on the far left. Salinas looking in behind to De Silva, but again, Croatia Raiders head in the way. Mitris, a kill. We're going to step on the pressure now, Croatia Raiders. Grelly does well under the pressure of Matakoulis. Mitris looks forward, a lofted ball to Nassau.
Oh yeah, he's done well.
Another show of good goalkeeping, reading the danger early, coming off his line and claiming before a touch from an Olympic player, but a bit more dangerous in these forward pockets at the moment, Olympic, and they're getting themselves back in this game.
They're the type of runs you want from your 10, those sort of third man runs, you know. And Perry can hit those balls. Ooh,
another late challenge here right in front of us. Mitris on Zaganek. In a bit of pain here, the youngster, but a late challenge, and he'll pick up a yellow card as well. So for bit of afters as well there between Zafaridis and Mitris, the two left fullback stalwarts of this league. The youngster getting one late there from the experienced Mitris. Sometimes you've got to do that as an older player. They've got the young legs in behind and you have to just stop them in their tracks. So letting them know early there, Perry Mitris.
Yeah, definitely. I think Perry is just a bit older now, so he's a bit slower.
Good touch, though, from Zaganek to get it ahead of Perry Mitris there. And he found his player, in fact, as well, but pulling it back there after a late challenge, not going for the ball. Vivian on top of this, looking to set it up for Croatia.
There's a bit of noise from the Raiders bench on that one, but, yeah, don't think it warranted anything other than a yellow card. So
launching long into the box. Jatta beaten in the air by Kikianis. Zafaridis now with some space to go for a run. Ikeda spins, looking in behind for Laird, but that ball is a bit too heavy and bouncing in front.
Yeah, again, probably want to see sort of the likes of Ikeda and Jai on the ball a bit more. Probably dropping in and out of the game a bit too much.
Clearland again looking for that long ball, but as it has been the case for this whole first half, all the balls in the air being won by the Croatia Raiders backline. Zafaridis. Jatta does well under the pressure to get two touches away from Kikianis. In the middle of the park, look for a switch. Ooh. De Silva crowded out by white shirts.
I think at times Raiders are a bit too rushed in sort of trying to get the ball forward. Probably just need to be a little bit more patient, and that's where the likes of, getting Ikeda and Jai on the ball.
Mitris, good ball in behind for a kill. Takes a good first touch, but the second not so good. Lujic looking early for a switch, but has been the case not finding a blue shirt. Jatta coming deep to pick this one up and start the move for Croatia Raiders in the middle of the park. Zaganek going 1v1 with Mitras again. Of course, he's on that yellow card, so he has to stay careful. He does so, but it'll be a corner. This time, it's from the near side here, and an in-swinging delivery looking for Zafridis. So,
yeah, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be trying to score. No, you want this one on the nose of the keeper, you know, just before half-time.
Of course, I knew it was going to be mentioned at least once on this broadcast. You have scored a goal, and it was against Adelaide Croatia Raiders, so timely that we got you on for this game. But
well, I didn't want to bring it up. I'm glad you did, though.
Verdicchio asking for this to be hurried up. There's maybe a short options on. Zafridis to the far post. Again, not one in the air by a Croatia Raiders player, and it caters return delivery.
Yeah, probably a little bit better quality on the delivery there from Ollie.
Cleland long down the line. Akil will win the header. So does Kingburn. Mitras using his body well against the young Matakoulis. De Silva beaten to it by Ikeda. Nassau. Touch around the back from Ikeda, and De Silva tries the same, but he gives away the foul. That'll be another Croatia Raiders ball in the middle of the park. Half-time going in around the grounds as well. Cumberland and Modbury still 0-0. Blue Eagles 1-0 over Eastern, and South Adelaide holding a 1-0 draw with Athletico. This game is just a couple of minutes away, but I'm sure we'll have a bit of added time due to some of the delays in this from kickoff to the ground steward altercation. Cater in behind. Matsakoulis looking for Jatta. Gets there with a touch, but he can't get there with a second. Good defending there from young Kikianis. Keeping
didn't quite fall to him, did it?
Yeah, he was waiting for the ball to come off his boot for a second chance, but shielded all the way there. Kikianis showing him no angle to get a strike on goal. Zafridis with the first win. Letting it bounce there, Vivian. Grelly wins out on that occasion. Katsambas can't get his touch the second time. And Zafridis again doing well out on the left side. Bit of pressure, not enough to result in a corner, but again, Zafridis showing his leadership and experience quality. Of course, one of the other Croatia Raiders players who has played with him in the NPL. Also, he's played with Comets, Bacala and Metro Stars elsewhere in the NPL in his career, but he spent most of his time at Adelaide, Croatia, and he's got the armband this season as well.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any real panic stations from Nick with their boys at half-time. As we chat and on the counter here.
Akil looking for a strike, fakes one way, goes the other. Into the box now. Grelly looks for a delivery, far post. Kalua's there. Nassau has the strike. The biggest chance of the day for Adelaide Olympic. And he spurned it over the bar. But as we said, a moment of brilliance. That time it was Akil driving all the way into the box, and a great delivery from Grelly on his left foot to pin it back to the far post, but Nassau just couldn't get his head over it and doesn't trouble the goalkeeper Kalua again, but a bit more confidence going into the second half for Olympic after that.
Yeah, probably needed that touch from the keeper as well. Had a few bodies there you had to get through. He's done well. Nassau probably needed to do a little bit better with the second effort there. But yeah, Kill's now been switched to this side is probably starting to pay off a little bit. He's probably getting on the ball a little bit more and being isolated with the one-on-one, and then he can sort of do what he wants, really. And that's where they want him being a bit more attacking with a bit more flair in these sort of wide areas.
Foul in the middle of the park by King Burns, stopping the attack in its tracks. We've got a player down there behind the ball, Kikianis. Dealing with a bit of pressure, I think, from Jatta. He might have got one late after he won the ball. Looks like he's maybe holding his shoulder. It's not a pretty sight, of course. When they hold that, it could be something like a collarbone or something out of danger, but it looked like they've sent a player to warm up, Jared Brazali. Of course, end of season transfer from the NPL champions, the Croydon FC Football Club, and has played a couple of games this season, 21 of them, in fact 19 from the start, but since some of the changes to the Adelaide Olympic lineup, he hasn't started over the last couple of weeks, didn't come on last weekend either. But of course, an experienced player like him can slot in, of course, in a major clash like this, and he knows championship success as well, with all of his titles at Croydon, being the NPL 3 times and the Federation Cup in 2015 as well. Were you involved in that 2015 Cup game, maybe?
I've only just got over it. I was at this very ground.
Yeah, I think I remember being there as well, and Andreas Wiens with a couple of good goals. One of the only cup finals here actually at Hangle Park, or L3 Football Stadium it is now, but see how Kikianis can get to his feet and if he can carry on. Of course, they're just about at the halfway stage, so they don't want to waste an opportunity on making a sub at this point in the game, but they might have to play out the remaining few minutes with 10.
Again, I think Nick will be relatively okay with sort of the first half from Olympic. They've sort of obviously dominated possession, haven't probably been as threatening in the final third, but probably in the last 10-15 minutes, now that Akil's come switch sides, it's allowed him to be have a bit more freedom.
Pudler looks like he's dropped into the centre-back position at this stage with the man less advantage. Looking diagonal for Akil. Great first touch ahead of Zaganek. Takes him on 1v1, but Zaganek gets his back as well. Again, Zaganek doing well, winning a 50-50.
He's done well there.
Got space down the line to take on Lujic in the box. Maybe the wrong decision on that occasion. He went for the strike instead of the cross, but another good youngster there, Joshua Zaganek, on the wing-back position, of course. He was playing more of a left-forward last week, and Mateus Rodriguez was in his position, but the youngsters dropped to the wing-back position in this fixture, and he's been another bright spark to watch. Maybe he's the one to maybe stop Akil in his tracks as he tries to go forward with the Adelaide Olympic player.
Yeah, look, it's not an easy position to play either. You know, it's a lot of running. It's a lot of
something off the ball there on Mitras from Jatta. The big man trying to impose his presence on a couple of the back line of Olympic at the moment, but seems to be injuring them one at a time.
Yeah, it wasn't too much in that.
Here's Mitras now again.
I think Perry's just at the perfect height, unfortunately.
That time, he'll win the ball, Mitras. Cleveland Central. One there in the middle of the park, and Christian Verdicchio brings to a halt this game at the half-time. It is 0-0 in this major clash. Round 22 fixture of the HPG Home State League 1 between first place Adelaide Croatia Raiders and Adelaide Olympic. Nothing apiece so far. We'll join you in the second half for some more action. Don't go anywhere.
First touches, first goals, first big moments. This is where football comes back to being football. Fast, technical, unpredictable, and always fun. Football Fives is built for players who still love the game, but play it their way. More touches, more movement, more moments that actually matter. Whether you're fitness, chasing wins, or just chasing that feeling of playing again, this is where your game fits. Different divisions, different levels, one shared love of football. Football Fives, football that works around life, not the other way around.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Introducing Carl's Jr. Star Boxes for taste and value that's out of this world. Choose a tasty ranch, original, Santa Fe or barbecue double cheeseburger and grab a small fries, all for only $6.95. Carl's Jr. Eat like you mean it.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
I just want to make an impact.
Hop in.
Where are we going?
There are so many career paths with SAPOL, from operations to CSI. You can walk the beat or work somewhere a little quieter. If you want to make a difference, there's a career at SAPOL for you.
Hey, it's going to be all right.
Call up the search.
Find where you belong in blue. Search SAPOL Careers.
We are unbelievably proud to announce today a partnership with Variety, the children's charity, which will result in a scholarship fund for children within the state who are in need of help to participate in the game. The total amount of the fund is going to be $100,000, which is a significant amount, but it's going to support young children access football in the state.
One of the many trademarks that Variety has really is about inclusion and joy and community. And this scholarship partnership speaks to all of that. It allows children to be involved. It allows children from a community program to be involved across all communities. And above all, will provide them with a great sense of joy.
There'll be 3 tiers of scholarships. One of those is a participation scholarship up to $2,000. There will be 2 grants provided for pathway program players up to $5,000, and Tier 3 will be an inclusion scholarship between $500 and $1,000 to support young kids under the age of 18 whose families need support to access the game. We think it's a really important project that we've been working on for a period of time. Variety are an amazing charity. They provide so much support to the local community. The partnership's been made with Variety, and Football South Australia contributing equally to the fund to the tune of a total amount of $100,000. We think it's an exciting development for the game in the state, and it's with great pride that we announce that today.
Hits it, and what a hit it is, and that makes it 4-1. He unleashes with his left. But he's through on goal, he's struck it to the far side. An Olympic have broken the deadlock. It's Minchin Park, threads it through. Satira's there, he's got a first chance at it, blocked, second chance at it. Great stop there by Oxenham, it's broken to Molas. And that's a fine goal to open the scoring for RD Molas. Now, just outside the box, faces Van der Hout, he's on his left, swings the shot in. Oh, that's a cracker. Hassia John scores a banger.
Got an injury on the weekend? Our walk-in sports injury clinic is open Saturdays and Sundays to support you. Located ground floor, Calvary Adelaide Hospital, Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic is keeping you moving.
I love refereeing because it's a challenge, you know, to go out to try and get the right decision, manage some of the egos or the personalities, knowing that you've got all these different types of people at play. And it's actually been a good life school as well. I started refereeing junior games on the Sunday. I was playing in senior football on the Saturday, so I felt like, you know, making some money. I think I was a decent player back then. You know, I could have stayed around and played senior football in NPL, but I decided to go refereeing, and I've gotten the National League much quicker than if I was as a player. Probably wouldn't have made it as a player, to be honest. Just kind of never looked back and was happy to progress. But I think people should try refereeing. I think it's a great tool to realise, you know, how you can also contribute to part of the game. There's pathways. Definitely it can be a rewarding career.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings. Tom Wren for sport. Jade Robran on the scene as it happens. Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide. Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local, and only on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability, and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Welcome back here to this HPG Home State League 1 clash between the hosts Adelaide Olympic Football Club and the visitors Adelaide Croatia, the league leading team. If you've missed that first half, it is 0-0. Couple of chances for both sides, but nothing too hard to deal with for the goalkeepers. So no changes, it looks like, for both sides coming into the second half. And positionally as well, it looks like players are in the expected ones. It looks like actually Akil and Katsambas have stayed on the sides they switched to in that first half, but otherwise everything as is. And 45 minutes for both teams to fight for that league title. Of course, having a look around the ground at halftime as well. Definitely a lot packed in here. Of course, you can see on the live stream, not a lot actually in the stand, but surrounding the rest of the pitch and on the fences, there is quite a lot of fans for both sides. So a goal is what they're looking for, and so are we, as well as those on the stream as well, watching from maybe other clubs and around the leagues, looking to see which team will join the 2027 NPLSA crew. So Zafaridis on this near side.
It's actually good to see the whole Raiders bench, players and officials, go in at half-time. Very united, I think, so that's probably what they've based their season upon so far.
Kikianis down the line. Looking in behind Jatta. It's a good touchdown there, though, by Mitris. And Jatta just about can't keep it alive. So going to that halftime break, Ryan, of course, one team is probably happier than the other. But for Adelaide Olympic, for all their possession and probably dominance of this game so far, they haven't really tested the opposition goalkeepers so far, and they know they have to get a goal in this game to change the tide, or at least make the game a bit more open. Do you expect much of a change in this second half, or maybe some early subs, or what do you expect?
Oh, look, I don't think, again, there's no real cause for concern, I don't think, from Nick. An Olympic, probably just, ask me that in about 20, 25 minutes, and it's probably going to be a totally different answer. But, yeah, look, it's when it starts to get a little bit more frantic, possibly. But at the moment, yeah, they could probably continue just trying to knock the ball around, waiting for some space to open up. But again, they just got to be careful. They got caught on the ball a couple of times at the back. Probably lucky they didn't concede. But look, they're probably going to make some changes if things aren't going quite well early on. But again, they need a goal. So they're going to have to change something at some point.
Ball miscued there by Ikeda into the hands of Lewis Clearland. For Adelaide Croatia, probably more of the same as well. They've been pouncing on a couple of counter-attacks and having chances of their own, but when they do have the ball, especially down that far right side with Zaganek, they have created a bit of havoc for the back line of Adelaide Olympic, and of course they would be happy with a draw, but for their standards, I'm sure they're pushing for a win themselves. De Silva to Salinas.
Yeah, playing for a draw is definitely a cause for concern. You don't really want to be, as we see, yeah.
Deflected chance and cleared by D'Angelo that time.
And look, for Raiders, the pressure's going to come. There's going to be waves of pressure coming, and we'll just see how they deal with that. At the moment, the likes of Christian and Chris Vivian there are sweeping everything up. But more and more of that could create a mistake from one of them.
Here's Akil looking for a delivery on the far side. Not the best delivery from him, and it'll be a goal kick for Kalua. But again, a good link up on that left side by Mitris and Akil. Probably both of the Olympic players have been involved most of that first half, having to deal with both Jatta and Zaganek, and of course attacking themselves
Yeah, good ball from Ollie.
Lujic waited for an option to pass forward, and by the time he took it, he could only clear over the sidelines. Zafaridis. Jatta, good touch out of it, and a good second as well. Jatta looking to feed someone in behind, and Zekanek.
Done well there, Perry.
Mitras maybe looking for a switch. Pudler. Good bit of play on that left.
Good build up. Good covering there from Vivian.
Gaining yards a bit better in this second half at the moment, our Adelaide Olympic. Playing quick there with Akil Mitras. Looking to swing his left boot. Akil gets a bit of space again to put a cross in. Got the numbers in there at the moment, Adelaide, Croatia. Look out on the screen there, about 5 in the back line of Croatia Raiders defensively. Maybe a push off the ball. Vidicchio says nothing doing. Maybe even the Croatia bench actually asking for a bit of simulation booking as well. Hosterstock, Laird, Matsakoulis, Nassau, Salinas. Kikianis driving forward. Can't find the pass. Comes off him, I believe, as well. And it'll be a Croatia Raiders throw. Of course, brother of the well-known Paniotis Kikianis in the Adelaide United team. But Daniel as well has carved a good career for himself and playing the most senior football he ever has this season at Adelaide Olympic. I believe he's come through the juniors and 18 system here as well. Jatta, good touch. Laird with a strike deflected and dipping into the hands of Lewis Cleland there. On a separate note, Ryan, 2 young goalkeepers in this game as well have come through various backgrounds here in SA, but it's good to see 2 under-23 goalkeepers featuring in a senior competition and taking their talents to State League 1 as well. You don't often see that. A lot of them playing still in the reserves of the NPL, but both seeing them come to State League 1, it's a good sight for goalkeepers, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I've watched quite a few State League 1 games this year, and yeah, it's good to see these boys given an opportunity, and I think they've both taken them with literally both hands. So tonight, I don't think they've really been a good switch there from Puds. So just watch this.
Kill under a bit of pressure. He'll get a throw in on the far side, but yeah, as you said, both these keepers, I mean, Kalua has been on the books of a couple of NPL teams and had a couple of appearances there, but taking his talents to State League 1 to get more consistent game time and more experience as well at a senior men's level. Looks like it might be actually a corner on the far side instead of a throw-in as was first expected. So it looks like it'll be an in-swinger from Ricky De Silva. And an opportunity for Olympic.
Yeah.
They go short.
Bit of sleep here, Raiders.
Mitras
dealt with it.
Another opportunity on him on the far left. De Silva looking to create some room to get the ball in the box. Now he does and goes down the line. Left footer. They're just about clear that time. But again, set pieces not working out as they probably would have liked. Adelaide Olympic. Neither teams really had a dangerous delivery to put something on the back line of the other. Jatta, loose first touch, maybe late there as Pudler went for the clearance. He's limping after that one, but Vidicchio see nothing wrong.
Yeah, a couple of balls there. Perry put in. Dealt with quite easily by Raiders. Probably going to try and need to come up with something different, I think.
Of course, for Adelaide Olympic, they have on the bench Luis Lobo. He's played at the NPL level for Adelaide Comets and Para Hills. He's their second top scorer this season, equal with Pudler on 6 league goals.
Good touch.
Laird on the far left, looking for a delivery and to go 1v1 with Grelly. Kikianis, great spin out of the pressure. Frees Puther for a switch.
Yeah, just going back to the keepers, they obviously haven't had too much to do tonight, but I think what they have done, they've done well. Clean and made the save in the first half, 1-on-1. Otherwise, it's just regulation stuff at the moment, but it's, yeah, like I said, it's good to see two young keepers getting opportunities.
Good bit of play here from Olympic. Got a free man on the left, Akil. Goes for a strike, bouncing in front of Kalua. He does well there to hold that one as well. Of course, around the grounds as well. Fulham going 3-1 up, a goal for Luke Fusco, so he's now ahead by 1 in the Golden Boot race, so I'm sure they wouldn't have been talking about that at half-time, and Akil wouldn't have known any of the better, but he's 1 goal down in this race for that. Can't get his foot over on the far side, but elsewhere around the league with the results currently means that Blue Eagles will be the team out, and Atletico now back in the top 6. With Modbury winning over Cumberland as well. That will leave Cumberland in that 6th position, holding on by goal difference against Adelaide Blue Eagles.
Yeah, if it does stay that way, another probably disappointing season from Blue Eagles.
Getting so close over the last couple of years. A couple of prelims they played, a 2-leg clash with Playford not too long ago that I remember. They led, I think, 2-0 in the first leg and threw it all away in the second. But for some of the new clubs, Adelaide Athletica, if they can make it into the top 6, their first season back in State League 1 as a new club reformed from Adelaide Victory, that would be an excellent achievement for them. Salinas. Nobody forward for Olympic, and Croatia will have the time to take it out from the back. Jatta doesn't contest with that one and lets it go behind him. Dangerous ball into the middle, and Jatta has found his teammate. There's a free run here for Laird, and another good save. Clearland still alive for Croatia Raiders. They look to try and put a cross in. And he's still waiting there on the far side, Matakoulis.
Yeah, Jatta did really well to get his foot in there. But Cleland, yeah, comes up trumps again. 2 big saves.
One of the best young keepers in State League 1. He's made another good 1v1 save to keep his side in this clash. 2 expected goals, I would have to say, for strikers that we've seen in this game so far, and 2 good saves with his feet. Nassau wins the second ball. Kalua down the line only finds Grelly. Nassau and Grelly working out on that far side. Zganek, I haven't said his name too much in this second half, and his pass was too heavy to find Jatta. Under a bit of pressure there, Cleland goes the first time option. Straight over the sidelines for a throw-in, but you can see the pressure of Jatta stepping on the back line of Adelaide Olympic is creating a little bit of havoc now.
Yeah, I don't think it was a great back pass either, so that and Jatta closing him down. Just got to get rid of it.
Here's Jatta again using his body well. A couple of juggles and puts a ball in, deflected out for a throw-in, but looked like a ferocious cross if that was going to find its way into the box.
Who are you throwing on for Olympic then?
See this ball just coming to the box. I would have to say Luis Lobo. I mean, he's the one with the goals off the bench this season. Of course, they've got young Stefan Mateo as well. We've seen in multiple leagues around SA do so well off the bench. He's scored a couple in recent weeks as well. But I'd have to say Lobo's got a bit more of a presence to him. He's a bit taller, you'd have to say, over young Stefan Mateo, and he might make a bit more of an impact against this back line of Raiders and their tall timber. But elsewhere on their bench, of course, they've got Brazali, he's a big figure. I don't know if you can put him up top, but he's definitely something different.
Oh, you can put anyone up top. Even Ollie Grant plays up top.
Was he a centre-back back in the day as well, maybe?
Oh, he headers like one sometimes.
Zafaridis going short. Osterstock 3v2 out here on the right. Takes it inside the box here. Zafaridis, free man with a touch from Zaganek. Was too heavy. Puddler, good strong 50-50 and a good spread of the ball as well. Katsambas in behind, but the numbers streaming back for Croatia Raiders. Dwelled a bit on his pass there, as did Nassau. Kill pulls out of that challenge. Osterstock looking long.
Good ball as well.
Another good switch to Laird. 1v1 with Lujic. Kingburn hasn't had the desired impact in this game that you would expect from him coming back from injury, but it's a tough game to get into when that middle of the park has got so many numbers. Kingburn now. Good first touch there by Osterstock. Matsakoulis and Kikianis battling out, using their bodies to see where this ball lands. Asking for something. He doesn't even get the throw in, it seems, Matsakoulis on the far side.
Yeah, I definitely thought he pushed him into the ball.
Kill, good win. Now he's come back over onto this right-hand side. Pulled back there.
Again, no one's really taken hold of this game just yet. I expect to see some movement off the bench shortly.
Just gone past the hour mark. It's usually when you do see that. Of course, last night's final, we didn't see a lot of movement until really late in the game. See D'Angelo again winning another header. Kingburn, a couple of plays to the left, looking for Jatta. Great first touch to find him. And the big man turns.
Yeah, kind of wanting getting into the box now, though.
Can't find the 1-2 there. And a good challenge. Fair on Kikianis as the defender falls to the ground, but good strong battle between those two all night. A kill. Kill putting the pressure now on the back line of Croatia Raiders, so they're stepping up. Kikianis only back to a Croatia Raiders player. Charging onto it. They've got a few numbers on that right side. Zaganek puts the delivery in. Laird takes the touch ahead of the defender, but it's a loose one. Looks like they are readying a sub here, Adelaide Olympic. Ikeda patiently driving into the box, deflected right in front of the goalkeeper. It'll be a corner, but it looks like a double sub here for Adelaide Olympic, and it looks like it's Choi as well as Lobo who are ready to come on. So Jun Choi, one of the imports they signed this season. He's got a couple of goals to his name as well, but hasn't started a lot of games this season. Often comes off the bench, but they'll have to do so after this set piece from Croatia Raiders. Again, as you said in that first half, looks like it will still be the left foot of Zafaridis, so have to be an outswinger from this side. But they've got the height in the box to make this count. Here's Zafaridis. Far post. D'Angelo's winning header. Bouncing in the box, flicked over. A header from Laird. Maybe he was looking for the bicycle, but wasn't sure what was behind him. But after that, we'll see some of the subs in this game. And it will be Salinas and Mitras to come off. And it will be Choi and Lobo to come on. So more of attacking fullback there with Choi coming on for Salinas at right fullback, and Lobo will join De Silva up top. So bit of movement. I'm not sure if Katsambis will be at left fullback, but Lobo definitely being an attacker coming on up front. Lost to Stock. A couple of good wins there from the head, and now Pudler uses his body to find Katsambis. A bit more deeper playing now. Lobo, first few touches on the ball. Katsambis is still driving forward though. Don't think he's kept that in. The linesman on the far side has called it all the way back there. But we've seen some subs now, Ryan, in this game, and I'm sure they're a bit of time wasting maybe that was from King Byrne.
Yeah, he's kicked it.
Picks up his third yellow card of the season, Jai King. And after a couple of shouts early in this game of time wasting from goal kicks, they'll get one there from a throw-in. But going back to the subs, of course, Lobo a bit more of an imposing figure up front for Adelaide Olympic, but you'd have to say losing the experience of Mitras maybe at left fullback there, leaving something defensively to gamble with.
Well, that's the thing, they have to gamble.
Kill, left-footed strike. Kept floating and found its way to the goalkeeper. A great strike from Alia Kill, kept alive now by Lobo on the far side, but
yeah, it opened up for him. Did well to cut inside, and I think he had a couple of bodies in front of him, Kalu, and he's done well to get across and deal with that. But you know, that's what we want to see from a Kill.
Lobo does well, puts a delivery in, bounces in front of the goalkeeper and across the face of the goal line, but Lobo coming into the clash and putting a few good balls in the box, so he's done what his manager's asked him of so far, and he's creating a bit of havoc on that left-hand side now.
Yeah, this could be this wave of pressure, you know, that we're talking about. We'll see how Raiders deal with it. But they needed to change something.
Didn't use too many substitutions last weekend either. A half-time sub for Mateus Rodriguez. Other than that, a sub in the 93rd and 96th for Croatia Raiders. So don't like to use a lot of their bench. We'll see if that changes today as we see a couple of players going up to warm up. Looks like it's Mateus Borges at the moment. But I think their front line has been clicking so far tonight, and maybe it's just defensively needing some fresh legs. Nassau, good first touch to find Pudler. Choi looks down the line, a kill. Outnumbered here on the right, still going a kill, but he's been stripped of it by the Raiders players. Ikeda, Jatta. Now they're applying the pressure. Olympic, bit of a change in potentially their formation as well. Looks like they have a three-back formation, and Katsambis is a bit of a wing-back on that far side now, and three attackers being Lobo, Akil, and De Silva. Zaganek still doing well and winning the foul as well. The youngster in and amongst three Adelaide Blue Eagles, Adelaide Olympic blue shirts, wins the foul. But another good performance from him tonight as well. One of the youngsters, I believe he's about 19, Zaganek, but he was one I was told to keep an eye out for in this game. Made his debut a couple of years ago, I think now, for Adelaide Croatia Raiders, but one that's come through their youth system and one that they're expecting big things of as well. Looks like he's a very capable young player and electric on the wing. Flicked on just behind Jatta, Choi and Akil. Great touch from Akil. And a great ball to Lobo as well to chase on too, but it's
Yeah, right idea.
Bit of the skid on these artificial pitches. You never know how that ball's going to bounce. But a kill again. It's probably been the one to watch for both sides so far in this game.
Yeah, I think I was going to say that, Raiders could probably watch this play.
A kill now has a strike. That one's not one of his best and doesn't trouble the goalkeeper, but as you were saying.
Well, I mean, Raiders, obviously the draw will do it. They could probably look at a bit of game management, slowing the game down a little bit, trying to walk to get the ball, but I think Christian's pretty hot on that. And with a couple of boys on a booking, they're probably going to tread on thin ice.
20 minutes left in this game. It's flown by as both teams are just trying to outsmart each other. As the time ticks down, I think Olympic are going to try and send more players forward. I believe we see a couple of more subs here on the near side looking to come on. Lobo offside position, but a couple more subs. I think it's Stefan Mateo there ready to come on in the next stoppage. So he's another attacker who can come onto the park. Only 2 starts for him this season since moving across from Adelaide Croatia Raiders. He was with them when they got relegated in 2025. Of course, has also played in the NPL with Modbury Jets, played an NPL Grand Final in 2023 against Adelaide United youth team. And had a very successful 2023 season in the NPL. Here's Jatta using his body, cutting it back.
Oh!
And a couple of early shouts there, but it was Zaganek finding the side netting, not the back netting, as the fans would have thought. But we're going to see another sub here. So it's Nassau to make way and Mateo to come on.
We're just going to have to keep pushing bodies forward. Yeah, Jatta just gets his foot in, doesn't he? Just has a knack of doing that.
So it looks like the instruction from his coach there was for him and De Silva to rotate in and around that 10 and striker position. We'll see how he can join the attack forward, but it's a loose one there from Grelly. Still yet to see much movement on the Croatia Raiders bench. I think they're trying to, as you see another couple of players go up for a warm-up, trying to figure out what their next move is, but as we saw last week, they don't like to do those subs until late, but when they do, they count, with Zappler scoring about a minute after coming on. Here's a kill. Finds De Silva. Mateo. Back to De Silva. Good ball out to Choi on the right. Puts the ball back across the box.
Yeah,
and
good link up.
Great bit of football moving from one side to the other. A low cross there from Choi. Now it looks like they'll have a long throw opportunity.
Yeah, if you can get De Silva and Mateo sort of linking up with one another, could cause a bit of problem.
Tried the tricky one there. A kill, the back heel. Doesn't find Choi in the overlap.
Good battle there again.
Choi looking to clear. Will use his body, go into him. Of course, with this result, seeing as it is as well with Modbury winning, it means Adelaide Olympic will actually go into third and have to play immediately in an elimination next week instead of a 2-leg playoff.
Yeah, good ball into Jatta again. He's still onside.
Deflected. Now back into the box. The oncoming! Oh, again, a save from the goalkeeper. I think that was Laird, maybe, or Zaganek, who came with a left footer. But again, Clearland with a fantastic save to keep his side in this clash and up for this league title game.
Yeah, no, he's done well tonight. That's 3 occasions now he's kept his team in the game.
Big win there by Katsambas. Finally, I think we are going to see a couple of subs for Adelaide, Croatia with 15 minutes to play. It looks like it's Kurik Romana who's going to make his way onto the park as we see Akil and Zafaridis battle with this first. Akil using his body well, and again a delayed call of a foul for a push in the back. Not happy with that one, Olympic, but it looks like Kurik Romana is about to make his way onto the park. He did start in the middle of the park last week against Cove, but with the return of Jai King, he was turned to the bench. Another long-term Croatia Raiders player. Spent a couple of years around other NPL clubs in Croydon, Adelaide City and Para Hills. See another foul there on Kikianis, but made his debut for Adelaide, Croatia in 2020 in the NPL, did Kurik Romana. And experienced some success in later moves to Adelaide City, winning a cup over there in 2022. Katsambas with a giveaway. Jatta against Lujic. Taking him to the line, Jatta. Puts a cross in and maybe done enough.
Yep.
Well defended there by the captain, Lujic.
Well, it's not like Raiders haven't had their chances.
Pudler out of the back taking this. Maybe a handball there by Zaganek. Referee can't see it. He's still going, the youngster. A lot of pace on that right side. Looking for the right pass though now. With a left foot, Zaganek low. And another good save there from Cleland. This one a bit closer to his body. But again, Zaganek, another strike on target for Croatia Raiders. They're building the pressure. And Olympic can't see a way out just yet. Cleland, long, looking maybe for a kill. Neither him or De Silva can keep it under. Jun Otta wins the header, but not the throw-in. I think we're going to see this substitution now. So it looks like it will be Osterstock to make way, and Kurik Romana to come onto the park. Taking a little bit of time there to take his shin pads out there, Osterstock. A bit more time wasting maybe, Ryan, but Kurik Romana will eventually make his way onto the park and see out these remaining 13 or so minutes. More of a central midfielder, Vian, so I don't think he'll occupy that left wing position as previously, and I believe they're going to go to a midfield three with him, King-Byrne and Ikeda in there to see out this remainder. Otta. Ikeda, good touch. Beaten out though by Lobo. Katsambas, early cross. De Silva, a good touch and a good second. Finds the overlapping Katsambas, deflected and
keeps it in.
Just about did keep it in there, Kalua. Linesman said he did so, and it will be a ball from his hands, but another good bit of play, and De Silva getting some more touches on the ball. Shows a bit more class and gets a few more involved. Pudler under the pressure of Jatta.
Yep.
Good bit of pressure. Kurik Romana. King-Byrne takes it past one with ease, but his pass is not so good. Otta, a kill through the legs. Zafaridis past two. Stopped in his tracks there by a kill. And will take his time out of this one.
Yeah, plenty of voice again from the Raiders bench, getting Zaf through that.
Long ball from Zafaridis. Headed on. Jatta and Cleland, but the youngster does well to claim. Goes long and early, looking for Lobo. Good distribution, but picked out by the Croatia Raiders fullback. Loose back pass. Kikianis loses out. Jatta, 1v1 with Lujic. Neither of them make a touch on the ball, but fortunately it falls back to the goalkeeper. Kikiana still going forward. He's got overlap on this right side. Otter, time to deliver. It's low, deflected, and fortunate for the Croatia Raiders goalkeeper. It took all this pace out of that ball.
Yeah, probably needed a bit of delivery from there. That's some numbers getting in the box.
Kalua. Lujic. Back out to Otter. Choi, sorry, not Otter. Choi goes long, looking for Lobo. Good ball in between the centre-back and the full-back. Lobo has to do something to keep it in. Looking for a pass back. Katsambis finds a delivery over the top of De Silva. A kill, again using his body. Good defending there by Laird.
Ball in their box there.
Need to get some numbers in this box and some height too. Pudler, time to deliver. Does so, deflected. Zafaridis can clear. Pudler now playing a more quarterback role in the back lines. Finds Katsambis. Lobo. Grelly. Lujic. Numbers sent forward here by Olympic. Kikianis has stayed up there now. Choi looking for a kill. Pushed off the ball maybe there by Zafaridis. Verdicchio says nothing doing.
Yeah, Wiseman was right there as well. I thought maybe he would have given something.
Seen a couple of shoves in the back from a couple of players go unheeded tonight. It's good to see an open game and a very physical battle. Jatta wins the flick on. Pudler and Lujic got in each other's way there. The ball bouncing in between Cleland and him. And they'll give a tough one out to Katsambis to chase now. Just launches that one for Vivian. Kingburn. Lujic.
Yeah, he's done well there.
Done well with a bouncing ball. Cleland now.
Interesting to see if Raiders do change anything for the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes. Obviously, the draw will do enough, but you don't really want to just rest on that. Do you try and protect it, or do you just keep going the same way you're going?
Very, very tight State League 1. If things remain the same, it will be Raiders with 45 points, while Modbury and Olympic both with 44. So heartbreak for both of those teams, but Olympic has the chance to change their fortunes in this game with 10 minutes or less to go. They need to push some numbers forward. They need to put some better deliveries in the box too. They've used everything off the bench at this stage, Olympic. And it looks like maybe Kikianis and Pudler have swapped roles as well for Pudler to try and launch some long balls forward. Using his body well, a kill, but he can't keep the ball and he'll get a throw in, but he's pushing himself and putting his body about now, young Ali Akil.
Well, this is the stuff you want to see in local football. They're coming down to the last sort of 10 minutes of the season.
Choi, time to deliver on his left, drives inside the box. Lobo, one shot and a strike! Oh. Deflected, calls for handball, but not seen. Maybe even some more for the linesman to look at too, but good chop there by Lobo. They've got to keep switched on here. That's a loose pass. Mateo.
I think it was D'Angelo, wasn't it?
I believe so. Maybe hit the back of the head and maybe an inadvertent arm, but we can't see a replay here.
Yeah, it opened up for him.
Did well and looked like it was heading for that top corner. Good deflection there by D'Angelo. Jatta, good first touch. All the space to drive into himself. Salafu Jatta, can he win it for Croatia Raiders? Still Jatta has the strike and then the goal! It's Salafu Jatta and that might have won everything! The striker who's top scorer for them this season has almost all but secured their promotion. They waited all game for that one chance, and Croatia Raiders look like they've taken it. What a goal there by Jatta. And is that it, Ryan?
Well, I'm not going to say anything. It's a funny game. But, I mean, look, he just glided through that space there. I thought he'd run too far, to be fair. Pulled the trigger and, yeah, he slotted it home. Very nice little goal.
Scored a goal last week to put him ahead, and now he's scored another late one to almost all but secure their league title and maybe their NPL status in 2027. As we said, you don't want to play for a draw when you're going for the title, and they might have got their all-important one now to lead them to the title. You can see their crowd behind the goals there moving and going crazy, but for Olympic, it's do-or-die moments. 5 minutes left in this clash, plus a lot of added time. But we've seen the opening goal in this game, and I'm thankful as well. I didn't want to wait for a 0-0 for a game like this.
Oh, look, you know, you're Olympic and you're just going for it. It's a strange game. Anything can happen.
Now they've got players warming up, and they're probably going to take a few more minutes out of this game to do some late subs and take some time out of it.
They're probably going to look to protect this. And look, that can go either way as well.
But their Gambian international has got the all-important goal so far. Hasn't had a lot to work with, and a lot of his players have stayed in their defensive positions, but one man versus 2, 3, maybe even 4 Olympic players, and he was finally the one to beat Cleveland. It looks like he's actually giving an instruction to the bench maybe to take him off. He's not got a lot left in him, but
I think he was still celebrating, to be honest.
Here's Puddler.
No, he needs to come off.
Launches long, looking for someone far post, but as it has all day, it's been Adelaide Croatia head. Sorry, it was D'Angelo.
What game you're watching?
It was D'Angelo. I forgot what club he's at now, but
he's been a few.
Of course, he's had promotion from State League 1 before with Adelaide Blue Eagles. Kikianis on the right. Puts the ball in. Deflected. Lobo with a touch, but Kalul will take time out of it. 2 substitutions ready for Adelaide Croatia here. It's Zappler. And I think it's Hewitt as well. Kalua going long again. That's the instruction for Croatia Raiders. The longer they can keep this ball in the Adelaide Olympic half, the more seconds will get ticked down. And
this is where your experience now needs to stand up for Raiders. You need the likes of D'Ange, Zaf, driving these guys home, Jai as well.
A kill.
Just need to be disciplined.
Shielded out well there by Laird, doing some defensive work. All their attackers now doing so. I'm going to see a sub, I believe. Coach Scardinio is instructing it, but they're not letting them for some reason.
I don't think the sub's ready, is he?
Jatta, good flick on. Vivian.
Again, they've just cleaned up everything in the air at the back, Raiders.
Matakoulis in behind. Maybe Jatta's got another chance. Kukramana was there for the square, but good interception there by Adelaide Olympic. Now I think they're looking to do this sub, and they'll get the opportunity to do so. It's going to be young Ethan Anderson, who's going to come on as well as Zappler. Anderson was out last game, but he's made quite a few appearances this season, and he's going to come on for Salafu Jatta. Maybe no sub for Zappler here. It's just Jatta to come off, and he's got a big smile across his face. His manager embraces him as well. He's got his all-important goal, and he's been the one to fire him towards promotion this season. 12 league goals, all of them being quite late in games, I imagine, as well. Goals late against Cove and Fulham in a couple of weeks' time. And here's another chance for Olympic. That's a better ball in the box.
Yeah, it was a really good finish.
tight angle. I have to watch that one back on replay, but to beat Cleveland all day has been a tough task. Katsambis, another ball in the box. Headed by Zafaridis, cleared by Matakoulis. Lujic. Pudler. Everybody forward for Olympic now. Choi. Trying to spread this Croatia team thin and find a gap. De Silva now dropping deep. It's a ball to the far post. Kalua there with a hand. Not the best clearance, and Mateo's touch. Too heavy. But that's another chance for Olympic. Nobody pouncing on the loose ball, top of the box.
There's going to be another change.
Doing these one by one, no change,
No.
looks like. Not sure what their intentions are at the moment. Lobo. Left-footed delivery. Again, cleared. It's got to be at least double digits clearance from a number of Croatia Raiders defenders. Pudler. Choi to the byline. Puts across the box. Ooh. And a header from Katsambis. Tough always to deal with that one and get over the top of it, but we will see a sub here of Zappler. And I think it is Matakoulis, the one to make way. So
he's worked hard up there. It's been a good battle, him and Kikianis.
And he gets the applause from all the Croatian fans here at the L3 Football Park. See what Zappler can do now. Said last week it was a minute since coming on. He scored the all-important sealer to make it 4-2. Be interesting to see if he can make the same impact tonight and seal all 3 points here for Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Kalua with the goal kick, and he'll get a booking there from Christian Verdicchio, taking some time out of the game to move the goal kick from one side to the other of the box. And in this big game, Verdicchio knows all the tactics that are being deployed by both teams to try and swing this in their favour. Kukwamana headed back to its own goal. De Silva, Mateo, Lobo. Pudler, getting pressed there by Zappler. But his touch is loose and just back to another Olympic player. Good pressure though from Laird. Strips him of the ball. They've got numbers on the far right. No advantage played, and be a free kick for Croatia Raiders.
Good work, Ray, from Lockie. Fresh legs, you'd expect that, but did very well.
The same from Kalen Laird as well.
It's all about trying to just chew the clock a little bit now.
Zafaridis. The shouts from their coaching staff was to find Zappler in the corner, but that one's just in the path of the Olympic keeper. So we're into added time now, into the 3rd minute now. Not sure how much is added. We don't get the look of a board. Here's Choi. A kill, outnumbered by a number of Croatia Raiders defenders.
Absolutely outnumbered.
Kingburn. Late maybe from a kill. Referee's not having any of it, but they can't find the pass in any fact. And Zafaridis will just clear down the line, and maybe Laird will keep it in.
Yep.
In the corner.
Oh, I don't know why he's doing that. Didn't hear the bench calling to keep it.
Didn't have confidence in his ability to keep it with the pressure from behind, and
probably need some numbers here.
Long ball, Zafaridis wins the header. Lobo's there. Looking for some numbers, far post. Pudler. Lobo, time to deliver. He's onside. Puts a delivery in a corner. Will be had late in this game. They need a couple of goals quick because, of course, as we said, a draw is not going to help them out. So they get things underway very quickly. Lobo will take this out swinger. Met by a Croatia Raiders head. Choi, heavy touch. Back to Clearland. He's the furthest one back. Takes it first time.
Yeah, dealt with everything today. Would imagine there to be too much longer left.
Lujic into the box. Lobo with time and space to put a cross in. Choi, far post, but too heavy. And Katsambas. Lujic. Straight into the keeper's hands. Kalua, they're asking for the whistle now. Verdicchio's got the hand in the air, but not the whistle in the mouth. Now he has a look at his watch.
Yeah.
Puddler's interception. It'll be a throw on the far side. Can't be long left in this.
He loves fucking 8 minutes. He loves it. You what? He's got 8 minutes to use it. Fucking deal.
Love the passion.
Good touch there, Lujic.
And that looks like that's
and
it.
That's the final whistle. 1-0 Adelaide Croatia win, and they win the league title to take promotion to 2027. REA NPLSA. They've been the team to beat all season, and after getting relegated last year, they're straight back up in 2027, and they win the league by 2 clear points. Fantastic effort today. A late goal from Salafu Jada was all it took, but they don't care. All they needed at least was a draw, and they took all 3 instead.
Yeah,
Fantastic game.
Well done, Croatia Raiders. Finished top. Deserve to go up. Olympic, yeah, look. Plenty of possession. Just probably lacking a little bit in that final third, unfortunately.
See all the fans of Adelaide Croatia stream onto the pitch now. Another promotion for them to celebrate. The last 2 times they were relegated, they bounced back up the next year, and as it suits, they went up again now in 2026. So a big year in the NPL for them again. A new young team as well. Not many of them have tasted promotion success with this club before, but now they can all add another one to their tally. A league title in 2026. Of course, they will still be playing in the final series, but of course the all-important promotion is already done, and now they can celebrate tonight. A long season of hard work as well for a new coach. Phil Scardinio came in midway through the end of last season as they were in the relegation zone, and he has masterminded their comeback into the NPL, bringing across a lot of youngsters from his previous roles at other clubs. But the all-important clash, and in the all-important games, they've beaten Olympic twice this season, and in this final league fixture have done so again. So what are your final thoughts of this game as well, Ryan, as we almost get into the presentation proceedings of not the goal fest we expected, but I guess the tight encounter that we would have?
Yeah, look, I mean, for it to come down to the last game of the season within the last 10 minutes, you know, that's, like I said earlier, that's what you want to see from local football. We'll have the same later on in the NPL as well. It's, you know, at times it was a pretty physical contest, but when you look at it overall, Raiders had the more chances, some half chances, and Jada, you know, finish it off towards the end there.
Got the shirts out as well already. They must have printed them before the game. They were very confident in what their season was going to end up with, and they got those league-winning promotion shirts on again as well. A couple of the players who missed out tonight, Chick Wuba there, as well as Uwaneza and Mason Ayubi, as well as those elsewhere maybe who are unavailable for selection today. But a promotion to add to all their tallies as well, and a big season ahead to look forward to next season. So,
and look, take nothing away from Olympic. You know, they've had a really good year as well. They'll just have to battle it through the final series now.
We'll have a look at that final table as all the remaining results finish around the grounds. Croatia Raiders, 3 points, winning the league title with 47 to Modbury Jets 44. Olympic finished third with 43, while Fulham United, Blue Eagles and Adelaide Atletico make their way into it. So some of the other results around the grounds that finished off: Adelaide Blue Eagles beating Eastern United 2-1. Adelaide Atletico beating South Adelaide 3-1. Fulham United beating the Cove 3-1 as well. Luke Fusco taking out that golden boot. Salisbury United with a 2-0 win over Adelaide Cobras. And Modbury Jets a 1-0 win over Cumberland. So that's the final league fixture, and I believe that means Adelaide Olympic are playing Adelaide Atletico, while Fulham will be playing Adelaide Blue Eagles. Okay. So Modbury and Croatia Raiders will have the week off. And they'll join the rest of those teams in a 2-leg playoff in the next 2 weeks. Don't go anywhere, of course. Our NPLSA final round has just started as well. We'll leave you with some of these celebrations as well.
Great year for Croatia Raiders. Promotion, seeing one of their own in Nirnkunda, starring at a World Cup, going on to a very big European club. So just got to use that momentum now. Consolidation obviously will be number one for next year, NPL. But look, they've got a nucleus of a good young squad. Add in there a bit of experience, and you never know what can happen.
Of course, a completely different team from the one that was promoted in 2022. Their captain of that day is, of course, one of those of Adelaide Olympic now, and Ricardo da Silva. So a lot of this team, this is one of their first years playing in NPL football with this club. And for those who maybe experienced the relegation last year, it's a fresh start for them in 2027. They've got a lot of those young players coming through now that got fleeting appearances last season as they were relegated in Saganek and those alike. But they're going to have everything to play for next season, and they're going to have a fresh group of players and coaching staff as well to lead them from pre-season onwards. And for Phil Scardinho, you've got to say what a job he's had as well. I mean, by the time he came in, I think their relegation was already confirmed, and in the off-season made a couple of recruits, and Salafu Jada being one of those. And elsewhere they made, of course, some others signings from State League 1 have really made the difference this season. I mean, Chick Woober coming in as well, 7 league goals for him. Didn't score tonight, or didn't play at all, but he made a big difference throughout the season. And as well, Jai King Burns sticking with the club. I mean, relegating to State League 1 and being one of the most important players in the NPL, you would expect some of them to look for another NPL move, but he stayed with the club, stayed loyal, worn the captain's armband numerous times as well this season, and he's masterminded their comeback, having one of his career best seasons as well in front of goals, 9 in all competitions. So they put together a good squad, and they've obviously given chances to a lot of the youngsters as well, seeing on that bench as well, youngsters in Zappler, Finnemore, Hewitt, as well as Ethan Anderson. These are all players under 23 that have got the chances. So
yeah, I think Jai's decision not to play footy was probably a good one in the end, so got himself a medal. But yeah, look, I mean, towards the end there, they obviously added a bit of experience with Chris Vivian and Christian D'Angelo. So that's probably helped them get over the line as well. Always helps when you've got a striker banging in, 10 to 12 goals a year. Takes a little bit of pressure off the back line. So, and when you've got such a young keeper in goal, you need to protect that a little bit as well. So having Chris and D'Angelo in front, and Zaf as well, has definitely helped.
It's going to be great again to see the Croatian sports facility as well in the top flight as well. It's had some refurbishments over the last couple of years. Some of the seats have been replaced finally, and of course their boxes and commentary boxes, one of the best in the league to see as well. Hopefully we see some more big crowds there as well. This means the derby's back for next season as well against FK Beograd. We saw some cracking fixtures in the last couple of years. They were both in the top flight, but if they're both back on top of their game, I think we'd see some more close calls against them as well, with FK Beograd consolidating a top 4 finish, I think, this season. And Adelaide, Croatia will have a lot of players who embody that Croatian spirit as well this season. I think they're about to get probably a photo there in front of maybe the trophy. I think the trophy's still on the table, so they'll just get a team photo, in fact. But it's good to see as well. One of the top facilities in our state that produces a lot of these youngsters, again, shine the light in the RA NPLSA.
Yeah, they've got a very good goal mouth.
Yeah, we might have to get you out for some more commentary.
I'll have to go and visit now.
On that famous pitch, and we'll see if anyone can recreate your heroics there. Christian D'Angelo there joining in as well. Another promotion on his tally as well. As we said, 2018 he did so with Adelaide Blue Eagles. Vian Kurukromana finally getting a trophy with his boyhood club as well, after missing out their previous promotion, and missing out in cup finals at under 18 level previously, so it's good to see him get a trophy with his boyhood club that he spent most of his juniors at as well, and can hopefully finally play with him in the NPL when they're fighting for finals and top positions instead. Be interesting to see if some of these players, especially Salafu Jada, I think he turns 31 this year, if he stays on for next year. Of course, they have those age rules in the NPL they don't apply for in the State League 1, being those under 23 and under 20 players that they have to have in a squad. I'm sure they would basically have that requirements done this season as well for projection for next year, but some of these older players, of course, it's going to be interesting to see if they can stick along as well. If they're not in the starting lineup, it becomes more harder to keep them on the books.
Age is just a number, though, Alessio. Come on.
It is unfortunate that it's a rule that's come across to the SA now. I do like to see some of those imports and older players show their experience, and it looks like we're going to start some of the proceedings. Of course, this is Adelaide Olympics home ground, so they're not going to have the announcer or the music on for them, but they'll go through them as they come through. So it was Scardinio there, the coach, Mason Ayubi. That's Leon Scardinio. Chikwuba, Anderson, Zappler, Huwaneza, some of these injured players that featured throughout the season as well. That's Yuto Ikeda, another one who stuck with them after relegation last season. Remember when he signed in the NPL, he was one of the bright prospects at centre-back, and he stuck with him. There's Finnemore getting his as well as the sub-goalkeeper there, McPherson. Some more players there. Matakoulis picking up the second top scorer for them this season with 9 goals. Jack Osterstock, Caelan Laird, Mateus Borges, Rian Kurikomana joining mid-season after not featuring much for Adelaide City this year as well. Vivian, come back from injury, only played 4 games this season, but in his 5th he wins the league and gets promotion, so good on him from returning from his injury and having such a big impact. D'Angelo as well, only his 5th game with the club as well. Jai King and the captain, finally, Oliver Zafaridis. I think he'll maybe get the trophy as well. Some of the coaching staff as well to join Phil Scardinio will now be presented with theirs. Of course, another long-time player and player coach, Dave Carosi. And then some of their physios as well as other coaching staff to join them. So that's the end of the presentations here. I think we'll see them get the flag and the trophy. And potentially as well, we'll see a bit of a lift and maybe a couple of Campiones shouted across as well.
I think it'll be a big night at the Croatian Sports Centre, that's for sure.
Yeah, not too far away from here as well. And finishing up in the early matches today as well. They've got a long night ahead of them as well. They can watch some of that NPL as well, and then they can go out after, and they've got a lot of time to work with them. Of course, it's not over for them. They still have to play the final series, so you see them presented to the camera now, and we'll wait their lift. Their captains there, Zafaridis, another one who's finally seen a trophy with his boyhood club that he's been so long at, and in between moving, he's missed out on promotions as well as cup triumphs. And now he'll have the chance to lift the trophy for the league title in 2026. Your winners, Adelaide Croatia Raiders, the 2026 HPG Home State League 1 winners. And they're off to the RA NPLSA in 2027, where they'll be joined by another team that will be confirmed in the final series. Thank you for joining us here in this commentary booth and at this landmark game in the round 22. It's been a pleasure to be joined by you, Ryan, and hopefully we'll see some more action of you later in the final series too, and maybe some more promotions on your hands as well. But it's been a pleasure to be joined by you, and we'll hopefully see you a couple more times in the booth too.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully again soon.
No worries. Well, we'll leave you with these celebrations, and they'll last long into the night. Don't go anywhere and chase some more NPL action and State League 1 finals in the next following weeks. Thank you for everything and good night.